This is okay. Before I was lazy, this is what I used to do. So now I have my whole room.
Taylor, no. That's not.
Isn't that sick?
No. No.
And watch this. Watch this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's a couch.
Stop. Stop.
Women don't understand entirely how much they've truly screwed up. Men going their own way won the culture war, and it's left women with nothing. Women don't understand the ramifications of their actions. They don't understand the seriousness of the situation because men are walking away from dating, relationships, and engagement with women in society and instead choosing to focus on themselves and their peace. Women told men, we don't want you, we don't need you, we'd rather the bear, but now they don't want to go and hang out with Yogi and Boo Boo in the woods. Today's video comes from Manhood. His channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check him out and support him. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men going their own way, now winning the culture war, and what that's absolutely going to mean for women going forward. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Shout out to my Rumble people who are watching on Rumble. We're streaming on both platforms now. Guys, don't forget that about 30 minutes into the stream, we jump over to Rumble. So you need to be so you better be over there if you want to keep watching the stream once we move over to Rumble. Also, don't forget to follow us on Locals because some of the stream will also be going exclusively on Locals probably. But yeah, we're gonna 30 minutes into the stream, we're gonna be jumping over to Rumble. So definitely go and follow us over on Rumble if you want to keep watching the stream after 30 minutes. It's linked in the description of the video and it's pinned in the chat, pinned in the YouTube chat, so you'll have access to it there. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the first video, but before we do that, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way with a message from Angry's Crypto Academy. If you think you've missed the boat on Bitcoin, think again. The crypto world is exploding with new opportunities. And while Bitcoin has already made its millionaires, there's still a chance for you to get in early on the next big wave. I've put together an exclusive guide on 4 altcoins that could change the game and change your financial future. These aren't just hype coins. These are real projects with groundbreaking technology and massive upside potential. This is your chance to get in before they hit the mainstream. But listen, crypto isn't just about getting rich, it's about freedom. Freedom from traditional banks, freedom from government-controlled money, and freedom to take back control of your life. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy. When you join the academy, you'll learn everything you need to know about cryptocurrency, how to buy, sell, and trade the right way, how to spot the coins that can truly take off, and how to use crypto to achieve real economic freedom. And here's the best part. When you subscribe, you'll get a free copy of my crypto blueprint. This is packed with valuable tips and strategies to help you get started, and it's yours just for joining. The link is in the description below. Don't wait around and miss another opportunity like Bitcoin. Those who act now will be the ones who win big. So if you're ready to take back control of your finances and start your journey to freedom, join Angry's Crypto Academy today. Let's make it happen.
So we have been waitlisted for speed dating. I guess way more women than men signed up. So unless a lot of men sign up before the event, we don't get to go.
Dating right now in 2024 is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life.
I am out here wiping mounds of snow
off of my car just so I can head to a speed dating event tonight that I paid $40 for to play icebreaker games with random men. What am I doing? This isn't even worth it. What is this all for?
I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna like what I have to say. You're not gonna like it, man. You're not gonna like it. Where are the real men at? I'm sick of it.
Forgot how useless men are nowadays.
We just got to a speed dating event. Wish us the best of luck because we're actually really nervous. So let's see how this plays out.
A few moments later.
We showed him pictures of guys that were at the event. Your mom laughed. And his first reaction to the first picture was, whoa. And then I sent my mom pictures and she was just laughing emojis.
Yeah. Look, they're...
Y'all, there's a speed dating thing here tomorrow night for Christians. Should I go? I don't know. I'm so awkward.
I think the reason that, I sleep with so many guys is because it's the only time I can really feel validation from a man. I mean, my dad told me every single day until he died that I was a failure of a daughter.
So you're getting closure by proving your father's point.
Congratulations.
Ladies, imagine if a man walked up to you and said, "Good news. I have decided that you are good enough to spend money on me, pursue me, and flatter me. But understand I will owe you nothing and will expect you to keep me happy always until I get bored with you or find a better opportunity." Would you jump at that opportunity? No? Now you know how men feel.
PSA, I am only dating hot guys. This is the hot guy era. I'm only gonna date hot men from now on.
They come with us to a singles event in Chicago. These were the fits, and after we took this clip, we passed a naked man on State Street, and that really set the tone for the rest of the night. This thing was at Spin, and it was packed, but the dating pool was grim. We did befriend two guys, and we went to a bar with them after, but I don't think they realized we were trying to friend-zone them. And this is us walking home. I'll spare the audio, but...
The tables are being turned, and instead of men chasing the women, women will now chase the men. No more simping, no more buying them meals, no more chasing. Hold the line.
Alright, I am looking for a guy. A single guy.
Where are the single men at in Atlanta that are not absolutely unhinged?
See, guys, women have been living off men for decades. They've been living off dating. They've been using men for free food. They've been using men to pay their rent. This is all of these things. Women have been treating men horribly for decades. Society has been treating men horribly for decades. You have countries like South Korea where men are very anti-feminist right now. And I'm not saying anything bad about feminism because, this platform, but you have societies like South Korea where the men in these countries have essentially stopped reproducing, and the response from the South Korean government is to begin paying women to have children by themselves. Yes, and this is absolute nonsense that you hear simps from Western society promoting as well, saying that because men don't want to make babies anymore, women should do it by themselves, and the government should pay them to do it. And so that's what's going on right now. You have the government in South Korea paying women thousands of dollars to have children, to become single mothers. And what's amazing is that no one is doing the math. The government basically thinks that it's just going to, we're just going to have a society filled with single mothers. So women who didn't want to have kids, we're going to pay. And what are you going to do? Are you going to pay them indefinitely? So the woman goes, she has a child that she only had because of the financial incentive. And when the money runs out, it's like what, maybe $10,000? When the money runs out, what happens next? Because these are people who were not designed to be parents, but you're like, oh, I'll give you $10,000 to have a kid. Okay. And we'll give you access to childcare. Cool. So you have children who are not wanted. And what ends up happening is you're going to have a situation very similar to the United States, where you look at the African American communities and these children that grew up in fatherless homes, you end up with a bunch of children that were, Chad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel's, Poncho's kids. And you can see what Poncho's kids have done to the African American community. You can see what Tyrone, Pookie, and Ray's kids have done to the African American community. So you're going to end up with a large society and growing society of children who are not wanted and basically have to turn to the streets to find love. And that's how you're going to destroy societies. Guys, the very moment that the relationship went from between the very moment that marriage switched hands and it went from being between a man and a woman to being between a man, a woman, and the state, because you're really marrying the state, everything shifted. Women don't marry men. Women are married to the state. Men do not have authority over them. All right. The state does. They left men. They traded in men for the state. You can see what happened when men were pushed out of the homes in the African American communities. Within 10 years, less than 10 years, they started this program in the 60s. I had no idea this really happened. They started this program in the 60s. In the 60s, by the early 70s, 80% of homes in the African American community were headed by a black woman. They were single mother homes headed by a black woman. 80% within less than 10 years? You've got to be kidding me. And this is the garbage that they're doing over in these societies right now. Women have been living off men for ages. Men basically get between women and hardships and the real world. Women have been using dating, all of this garbage to get free meals and live this type of lifestyle. And there's been no consequences for taking advantage of men. If you have a single man, when you have a man who does to women what the average woman does to a man, they end up being arrested. For example, in Japan, there was a man who told a bunch of women he would go on a bunch of dates and he would tell each woman that it was his birthday, something like it was his birthday. So they would constantly give him gifts. Right. So he'd get all of these different gifts from these women. And my assumption is he would then turn around and sell them and make a profit. And he was arrested for doing this. How many women do this? How many women use the same strategy, constantly telling a man that it's her birthday, so now he'll feel inclined to go and buy her something? In China, women want what they call red envelopes on the first date. A red envelope is basically something that you give during special occasions like New Year or a wedding or a child's birth. Women want red envelopes to hand it to them on the first date now. Guys, if you're giving a woman a red an envelope filled with money on a date, on the first date at that's not a date, that's an escort. And then to make matters worse, you're not even getting anything in return. You're giving her that money just for going on that date with you. That's an escort, bro. And a bad investment at that. So you know what's intriguing about all of this? What I've come to realize? As things continue to get progressively worse for women in society, because you're seeing that they're going all over social media and hollering and screaming and saying, where are all the men? Why are the men disappearing? But then at the same time, while they're saying this, they're lodging all of this fury and despise and disdain towards men still. Hands down, you're going to see as the economy begins to crumble down and gets, because society's not going to collapse, groups of people in society are going to collapse. As things continue to get worse, what you're going to begin seeing more and more women doing is doing the only thing that they know how to do. All right? What did I say about the streets? The streets lead to only fools leads to the streets leads to the church, and the church leads back to the streets. It's a vicious cycle. They all lead to one another. So if women no longer have jobs, they no longer can extract wealth and resources from men using dates, what are they going to do? They're going to turn to only fools and lonely fans. That's going to be their home, their hope. So you're going to have all of these women turning to the streets and turning to only fools and lonely fans to make their money. So like every girl, like I predicted this years ago. It's unbelievable to think about it. It's like you meet a girl and you're like, oh, what's your phone number? She's like, I don't give out my phone number, but I'll give you my Instagram. Right? That's how they do it. I'll give you my Instagram, and you go to her Instagram, and of course in her Instagram bio is her OnlyFools, and that's the whole plan. Where you'll have women going out into the streets, going to the bar, stuff like that, trying to get men to talk to them. They have no interest in being in a relationship with the guy. What they're trying to do are find new men to find new guys that are going to basically subscribe to their Only Fools and Lonely Fans. So they'll go out to the bar, they'll go out to the club, and wait for guys to chat them up. And they'll say, "Oh no, I'll give you my Instagram." And the entire idea of giving these men their Instagrams is so that the guy will go and follow them. Hell, if they're desperate enough, maybe, not saying they will, but maybe, just maybe, they'll even start chatting up men on their own, or trying to get. Most women don't have any swag, but you see what I'm getting at. Because that's how, so they'll go to any great length to get these men over onto that platform so that they can then begin extracting wealth and resources from the men this way. It's just a big numbers game to them. Now, think about this carefully. Both the Republicans and the Democrats have been actively working with the DOJ, calling on the DOJ to ban Lonely Fools and Only Fools and Lonely Fans. And the DOJ has been actively investigating them since something like 2021, I think. I think it's 20. I don't know if it's 2020 or 2021. It's been a minute now. It's been years. It goes back to the Biden administration or the late Trump administration. But the DOJ and the IRS Criminal Investigation Department of the IRS has been investigating them for years now. And it's basically a lot of people who are not of age have been on that platform, and it's still functional. And you have companies like Visa and MasterCard still processing transactions for them. So my belief right off the bat is probably that, at some point, Visa and MasterCard is just going to say, yeah, we're not going to be processing these transactions anymore. They're going to go after, and that's going to shut the platform. That's going to hurt the platforms big time. And the DOJ is going to be pursuing serious cases against the platform to get it taken down. Do not forget that Backpager, like you had platforms like Casual Encounters on Craigslist or Backpages. Don't forget what these Backpages was basically supposed to be like a page where you could use it for a bunch of different things, for other things, but we know what it was being used for. And what did they do? They took it down. Casual Encounters, they took it down. On Craigslist, who the hell even uses Craigslist anymore? But you see my point. So they're gonna start tearing these things down, especially under the new administration, especially under Trump. All right, as you know, Project 2025 is still a very real thing. So women are going to be between a rock and a hard place. They're not going to know where to go. They're not going to know who to turn to. They are facing extraordinary poverty and extraordinary destitution. And women did this to themselves. They played stupid games, and now they're going to win very stupid prizes. That's how the saying goes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Modern women, they played some very bad games. They played very bad games, and now they're going to win some very bad prizes. They're going to win some very, very miserable prizes because of the very foolish things that they have done. Okay? There's no one coming to rescue them. There's no one coming to save them. None of that. Literally none of that. And by the way, guys, again, don't forget to go and follow us over on Rumble, because we're going to be moving over to Rumble exclusively in a little bit. We're already streaming on Rumble, so go and follow us over there. The Rumble is linked in the description of the video, and it's also linked in the live stream. It's also linked in the chat, so you can go and click on that, because we're going to be heading over to Rumble in a little bit, and then continue over there. So yeah, in about 5 minutes, we're going to be heading over to Rumble in 5 minutes, guys. So I'm giving you the notification now. 5 minute warning. 5 minute warning. We're going to be heading over to Rumble in 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to get your butts over to Rumble. 5 minutes to get your butts over to Rumble before the live stream actually ends on YouTube, and then we'll be just doing it, chilling, kicking it on Rumble. But I don't know. I mean, guys, it's funny. Women never realized that this wouldn't last forever. Taking advantage of men, using men, disrespecting men, all of this crap was not going to last forever. They didn't realize the hardships that they were going to be facing. They didn't realize the pain and suffering that exist in this world, and that it's because of men why they are shielded. They are actively shielded from the realities of the world. Women don't get it. Women do not realize how hard life is for men, and not only how hard life is for men, but how hard life is in general.
do not need men to get bank accounts, houses. They have careers on their own.
No, you still rely on men. It's just indirect now. See, men have always been in between women and the real world. That your office job is not real life. Here's another depiction of that. Here's men going out to face danger and build things on the outside in order to create a safe space for women on the inside. This is how it's always been, and it still is. You just don't understand that because you're too comfortable. Men still do all the hard work. If all women stopped working right now, we'd be fine. If all men stopped working, everyone would die. And that is, again, because men make all the food and build all the houses and the walls, and they used to guard the border. I guess they gave up on that. Women have never done that and can't. Men still do all of the necessary things to create the space for you to have your girl bossing fun time. The way it works is that women are always really happy for men to do the hard, dangerous work until times are really good, until we build something better than this. And then you look around and you go, hey, men have more than us. No fair. You go to the government, which writes some laws for you, which makes you equal, and then you are disgusted by men who are equal to you. So without equality laws, it's very easy for women to find men they respect, and with equality laws, it's very difficult. And then everyone tells these men that they're worthless. And then they go, okay, well, I don't want to be this guy, so I'll just be this guy. And then they never grow up and they never do anything. And then you hate them even more. So your girl bossing crap is just not going to last very long because women cannot do what men do. You can't do that work of building the physical world. And what you're doing now is just sort of taking it away from men and having it for yourself without giving them anything back, which makes them go away. And then, like, imagine if you had to build a house. It's not going to happen. And then when men go away, then there is nothing in between you and bad stuff. So you might want to stop being so mouthy.
Here's the thing, guys. I predicted this. I saw this years ago. Women are going to say things like the hearts of men have become cold and wicked. When men walk away, all right, when men walk away in droves, and this is what's happening right now. Women are beginning to notice it. Only one out of every 1,000 men in the United States are currently getting married. That's an old statistic as well that I've been giving you guys for a while. It's probably changed by now. It may have been a few years, but it's basically less than 1% of men right now are getting married. Less than 1% of men are getting married, and of course, you guys will go angry. That's still one too many. You know, when it hits 0, that's when we could talk. And the thing is that women don't understand this is the direction it's going in. It's like they're doing everything in their power to drive men away from them, to push men away from society, to make men not want to engage with them, speak to them, date them, or even live with them because of how they are treating men in society. And it's like it's never going to end. And because there's no accountability, because women don't take accountability for anything that they do, they would rather blame their emotions before they actually take any accountability and blame themselves. Nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change. It's sad, but it's true. You know, it's an ongoing problem that men face. It really is. It is absolutely an ongoing problem that men face, and it's something that we have to wake up to as men and be realistic with. Like, you know, women are not going to just wake up and just suddenly change their ways and realize, hey, we need men and we need to really reflect on what we were doing and how we're treating men. It's not going to happen. Women are not going to magically change their ways. They're not going to magically, you know, suddenly decide that, hey, you know, we need to reflect. They will change their tactics. Women will change their tactics, but they will not change their thinking. They won't. You know, they will never change their thinking. You know, it's two guys. They were raised with masculine energy, so of course they know nothing about femininity, and they're not going to be able to go down that path. They're not going to. They cannot choose femininity when they know nothing of femininity, because they are masculine individuals, and they will always be masculine individuals. It's not going to change. It cannot change. because that is their nature. Guys, we're going to be, like I said, I gave you about 5 minutes to get your butts over to Rumble. It's linked in the description of the video. It's linked in the chat over on YouTube. So, you had your 5 minutes, guys. I gave you your 5 minutes and gave you your 5 minutes. And if you didn't listen, I mean, if you don't listen, you don't listen. And that's not my problem. That's not my problem. If you don't listen, you don't listen. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's it right now. So yeah, we're gonna jump straight over to Rumble. We're gonna be over on Rumble just by